Shall I do one more?
Yeah, go on then.
That was a good one, wasn't it?
Billie, can you just say something, please?
Yes, I'm so happy to be here.
Can you say something sincerely? Try sincerely.
I would like to sleep for 18 hours.
That'd be fun.
Wouldn't it?
I would never be able to do that, though.
What, sleep for 18 hours?
No.
I actually can't remember the last time I had a proper lie-in. I feel like adulthood is where you just wake up by 7:30 and it's such a fucking piss take.
7:30 is my lie-in.
yeah, it's devastating. I used to be able to sleep till midday.
Whoa, I've never
Are we
been
going?
like that. Are we going?
We'll record it.
No, I can't see why not. Let's start.
The red light is on and we're ready to go.
Welcome to Spill, the podcast we wish we'd had when we were growing up.
Some very candid conversations on life in your 20s and 30s, the ups and downs, and the messiest parts.
But essentially, we just chat pure shit.
So welcome to the chaos. It's showtime, baby.
What's your spill of the week, bitch?
I think there's a bigger spill of the week.
No, you're doing your spill first. We already agreed that.
Why?
Becky said.
Oh.
Also, actually, let's just say we're actually. Should I say actually again? Actually,
what are you waiting for?
No, I'm gonna steal Alex's joke. We're mopping up this episode because we spilled so hard last recording day that we've cut the episode to shit ourselves. So you might
It was
hear
a mess. It was a mess. It wasn't like a cute little just drop something down my top.
it was
Quick
just
clean
like
it up. Nah, that jumper's ruined. It's going in the bin.
yeah, it was like
too
we
much
ripped
spilling.
our jumper off and got our tits out.
Okay then.
So this week we're reining in. We're going to be ladies
There's
again.
going to be no tit chat this week.
But spill, Billie, spill it, Billie.
Have you already had your matcha?
I mean, I've had a coffee, and everyone better watch out because episode 2 I would have had a matcha, and things about to get crazy.
Whoa. Okay, spill of the week. So I went to the Fashion Awards this week, which I've been a few times. Very lucky to say that I have been a few times, and it's really cool. Like
It's a
like
flex.
the biggest fashion night of the year. I guess it'd be like the same as the Met Gala, but not as many celebrities.
It is like it's the London Met Gala, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rihanna was there, wasn't she?
Yeah, Rihanna was there. A$AP Rocky was there. Glenn Powell was there, and he is so fit. It's a joke.
Was Jonathan Bailey there?
Didn't see him. I was in a box and not on the floor where all the celebrities are. So
Sorry.
that's distracting.
Sorry. Just as I said how much I fancy a gay man while my boyfriend sat in the room. I just want to rectify.
Anyway, Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell. Who is that, Bills?
He was in that Tornadoes film.
Oh, the cowboy.
Yeah. Yeah. Not care about your boyfriend in the room now, He was just in a really, really, really well fitted tux. I think it was Tom Ford, and he was just like had this recline.
Have we got any pics?
I've got a 2-hour long video. That's all I watched for the whole time I was there. It's like pop off, Glenn.
I loved that film.
Yeah, it's a good. I like the Luke Combs soundtrack.
Yeah, me too.
What else was he in? Can't remember now.
You looked stunning.
Thank you.
Yeah, you looked like you really should have been there.
Oh, that's a nice thing to say.
Yeah, makes a change.
I wore it was a really nice dress. I liked it a lot. It's from this brand called Bernadette Antwerp. It does.
Oh, the one that you wore to in Sicily?
Yeah, exactly. Same brand, but different style. It did look a little bit like a stick of butter, but I enjoyed it.
No, I didn't like that joke. I don't like it.
It's like a perfect stick of butter colour though. But like an expensive French one that's got
yeah,
like
a bit of salt on it. Yeah, nice. And who
one
were
that's
you?
like wrapped in a tube.
Yeah, like good quality foil.
Yeah.
Who were you there with?
I had a really cool crew. I was there with Elizabeth Day, and I'm obsessed.
No, but I'm obsessed. I want to go on her podcast because I've got so many fails.
Same, but she's so nice.
I have been obsessed with her for quite a while. You know, she interviewed Kate Winslet on her podcast the other week.
I actually haven't seen that episode, no.
Yeah, and I wrote a comment underneath saying, what a treat for my ears this will be, and like hundreds of people like it. It's still now I get notifications they liked your comment.
I still get notifications that I've liked to comment on your... people have liked the comment on your video from about 6 months ago.
Oh, when I did that try-on haul?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but she was awesome. And like I'm not used to a red carpet. Like I've been to the events, and normally what happens is there's a really long queue of people waiting to do the step and repeat, and then there's an empty queue this side where you just go into the venue. And I always go into that one. So I'm like, oh, I don't need to do
What's
step
step and repeat?
You know where it has like the branded board and then there's like that wall of photographers there taking your picture.
Right.
So I never like, that's not my jam. I don't do it. But I went with Russell and Bromley and they were like, oh, come on, like everyone's going to get a picture. And I was like, I don't want to. They were like, okay, well, we kind of had to. I was like, okay then.
Very proud of you for that.
Oh, it's awful. Where do you look? What did you do? How long did you stand there for?
It's really intimidating. Also because you absolutely know that none of those men give a shit about taking
Not
your
one.
photo.
I honestly think the guy put the camera and looked the other direction and went, okay, cool. But I think she could tell that I was nervous for parts of it because
Elizabeth?
Yeah, we did like a group shot, and to be fair, everyone was like really tonally dressed, and the picture actually looked beautiful, and it maybe wouldn't have looked as good as if my sticker butter dress was just like muddled in with all of those neutral tones. So she was like, no, come and join us. I was like, no, I'm fine here. And then afterwards, after they'd done the group picture, she was like, come on now, me and you are going to go and get a picture.
Aww.
And she did it like twice, where whether she meant to be like really kind or just it is innately that way. Like,
She's a girl's girl, isn't she?
she's just really considerate and kind. Yeah, loved her.
I've been obsessed with her for years. Weirdly enough, found her before I got divorced, and she was the first time I heard her talk about failing, and it was like failed marriage, and she talks a lot about trying to conceive and stuff like that. Obsessed with her.
Do you know what else she's
Was she
obsessed
that
with?
beautiful in real life? Do you want to stroke her face?
Outrageous.
I would have wanted to just like down her cheek or something.
No, because she had full glam and that would have ruined it.
Like
But
a little tap.
her skin is flawless. But also, like, I've never seen toned arms like it.
Yeah, I seen them last night on the photo.
I think only Jennifer Aniston's got arms like that.
Could never be us.
Never. No. I found a tricep the other day, though.
With T-Rex arms.
My T-Rex arms. And then I learned how to do one of those bodybuilder tricep things yesterday.
Do you go like this in the gym?
No. I go into the corner, put my headphones on and don't make eye contact with anybody.
I'm feeling a bit weak in the gym at the moment, but it comes and goes, doesn't it? Strength. Well, let's ask Elizabeth Day, maybe not.
Don't know. It's hard because I am always really strong.
Yeah, you are.
No, it was really fun. And I think the first time I ever went to the Fashion Awards, it was so last minute. I was asked on the day when I worked at Elle, like, oh, we need someone to go and report up from the red carpet, where you like go and ask everyone like, oh, hi, I'm Billie from Elle, like, what are you wearing? And I had nothing to wear. I remember like I had to send a bike back to my home, and luckily my housemate was in to be like, pick any dress that you think I could wear on a red carpet. And I wore like ASOS and a pair of boots or something, and everyone was in like gowns.
And this time you were there as a BD, stands for big deal.
That was going to say big dick. I was like, I don't think I have one of those, but okay.
But you were like, it's to be proud of.
It did feel different this time, which was, I was like, oh, right, well done us.
Yeah.
But I had a really good time.
Go on, Bills.
Got a bit drunk.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Not for getting drunk, but for doing it.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was really fun. Rihanna wore a really big blue hat, so she was easy to spot in the crowd, and that's pretty much all my takeaways.
Love that for you.
Thank you so much.
BFA stands for British Fashion Awards. BD stands for Big Deal. BB stands for Billie Bartier went.
Wow. I'm worried about what's going to happen when you had a matcha. If this is
yeah,
where
me
you're
too,
at with
because
coffee.
I've been up since 3 a.m.
I know that you are gagging to tell me your
Oh
spill
my
of
God,
the
my
week.
spill of the week makes me want to peel my teeth out.
Have you got love aggression about your spill of the week? Do you want to headbutt your spill of the week?
So many people have spoken about that. Right, listen up. You know what I'm going to talk about. You know what I'm busting at the seams to talk about. People have been in my DMs telling me, are you going to spill about this? Wicked. I think that comes in part 2.
I'm not even going to attempt to like even interject in this conversation except for this bit because...
But when are you going to watch it?
I'm actually going to go on Saturday.
And I'm going to be sat by my phone the entire time. And I know that you are going to cry. And I know that you're going to love it.
Oh, I think I will definitely cry. Everyone's sobbed, right?
So I've never in my life been to the cinema twice to watch a film. I've been twice and I would go for a third time. I think I'd cap
different
at third.
snacks at both times. Just to have like a slightly different experience.
Yeah, so I will actually talk you through my snacks just before.
Yeah, I love that.
So on the first time, on the Saturday, I had a big juicy Dr. Pepper, chili heatwave Doritos, popping candy chocolate balls from M&S, 10 out of 10 would recommend, and the Wicked branded Butterkiss salt and sweet popcorn.
Was it green?
Yellow bag. It's got like a picture of Ari and Cynthia on the front.
Is there much yellow in the film? I thought it was all green.
I don't know, bro. No, there's no yellow. It's green and pink.
Okay, but
like, that was snacks for the first time. Obviously, I didn't eat much of everything because on my little injections, but I did enjoy them. I cannot even like explain to you what this. I felt like the film reached into my soul and gave it like a little hug.
But isn't that so good? Because how disappointed would it be if it wasn't as good as you wanted it to be?
Yeah, I tell you what was disappointing. I did get NFI to that premiere.
I know we have offline talked about this.
Yeah, I wasn't there. And there wasn't a single person who didn't receive a begging email from me saying, get me on the red carpet.
But you know what? And this is one thing I didn't know about the film. There's a part 2.
There is a part 2. So I've got a year to graft.
I feel like you can make it happen.
And I'm already trying.
Where's that manifestation tree when we need it?
We've got manifestation curtain this time.
Say to the curtain that you're going to be at the
I'm going to be at the premiere for Wicked Part 2, doing a junket. Best mates with John M. Chu, who's the director. I'm going to tell you a really cute story about it. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, go for it.
So my favourite musical ever in the world is...
In the Heights.
Correct. 10 points to Gryffindor. And like I've been obsessed with musical before when it came out, which I think was about 15 years ago. Knew the soundtrack before I'd ever seen it because it started in Broadway. So by the time it came over to London, I knew every single lyric, like was blown away when I went to watch it in the theatre. Could not be more obsessed. And then I found out they were bringing a film of it, went to watch it at the cinema. I think it was in the second year of COVID, so 21 maybe.
Yeah.
And was so gassed about watching it, like so passionate, so excited, watched the film, sobbed, came out of the cinema, and I went with my ex, and in the car on the way home I was like, oh my God, I can't believe like how amazing it was, like what did you think? And he was like, yeah, it's good.
No.
And that was it. And I remember in that moment
didn't
thinking
ask,
what there wasn't chat about it. And like, I think because we had different passions and different hobbies, that's fine. But I remember feeling a bit flat in that moment.
Yeah, sure. Because even if you don't even if it's not totally your jam, as in musical theatre isn't completely my thing, but I know how much it means to you. So I would want to at least ask a couple of cues, you know.
But you are a little secret theatre kid.
I like some of it. Does that not sound like a wild cat that was outside?
Yeah, soz about the noise, guys. We're obviously in the most glorious Beauty Pie headquarters, which is
in central London.
It's fresh and central.
Yeah, and there's definitely some roadworks going on down there. / a jaguar on the loose.
Whoa. So it was really amazing that 4 years later, I'm watching Wicked, directed by John M. Chu, the same guy, with my boyfriend, and we go home and we're like, oh my God, yeah, and oh my God, we cry together, yeah, losers. And it was so cute. And it was like this really lovely moment to share something that I am so passionate about. And I can't wait to talk to you about it on Saturday. But for me, the passion comes from it. Like I've always been in theatre groups, right? Or surrounded by theatre kids or, whatever. And it is, in my opinion, the most forthcoming in terms of inclusivity. And the film, captured that so organically and genuinely. Like anyone's always been welcome in that space, no matter what your colour is, your size is, your ability. The theatre world has always welcomed it, way before it was a tick box. And that's what the film did. It just beautifully encapsulated all of that. Cynthia and Ariana, talent, makes me never want to open my mouth again. And not even for a little shower.
Should we just pause and hold it there for a little while with that?
Come on. So yeah, faultless. Just everything I could have imagined and more. And I can't wait for you to watch it.
And it's Jonathan Bailey. He's the heartthrob, right?
Yeah, he's the heart. This is again, though, right?
He's the heartthrob of all heartthrobs.
And let me tell you, I've said it time and time again. The gay god takes the best of them. We're left with scraps. Sorry, all three straight men in the room. But again, right, his song Dancing Through Life, he has a little flirt with the boys as well. He's straight in the film, but there's women in trousers, there's men in skirts, but it's not a focal point. It is what it is.
Just is. Yeah.
And that literally is what the theatre world has always been like. And I feel so passionately about having grown up in that environment, where everyone is welcome. And that's I actually might cry thinking about it, so I need to stop because it's embarrassing.
Oh, go on, give us a tip. We haven't had any this season.
We haven't had any
tears,
have we?
Say more about how much you love Wicked and how inclusive the space is.
There is a scene and you are going to cry. I know that you're going to cry.
I think I'm really in the mood for a big cry.
Yeah.
Maybe not today, but our previous episode on friendship, Kat listened to it.
Cat Goops.
Cat Goops. And she just sent me a video of her. Like it was like I was actually with Daisy yesterday, and I watched it. It was like a 4-second clip, and she was just sobbing, listening to the
story.
episode. I was gone immediately, gone. And we both like then had a big cry later. And we spoke to each other on the phone. Well, actually, it wasn't even on the phone. It was like an 8-minute voice note each. But I was like, sometimes you actually just need a really big cry.
Yeah, crying's good.
Yeah.
Also, this podcast healing us.
Yeah. But I just sometimes, when I've had a big cry, I want to have been like, wow, was that like a cute cry? Like if someone was filming that for a film, would it be like, oh my God, yeah, she's so sad? No.
I've told you this before. My ex-boyfriend told me I was an ugly crier and I've never forgotten it. How rude.
I don't think if you're cute crying, you're really crying.
Yeah.
That's the conclusion I've come to.
Like tears like that.
It is ugly.
Yeah, Uggs.
And my eyes are like slits after.
Yeah. But
that's what I'm gunning for this weekend.
Yeah, I can't wait. I want you to call me and I want you to FaceTime me afterwards.
Okay.
In honour of loving theatre and theatre kids, we've got a special guest today.
Yeah, we do.
Actually, begging from producer Becky. She was gunning for him to come on, wasn't she?
Are we going to do like a
little drum roll? Duh, it's DB!
Crawling across the floor.
Should we move over? Should we readjust?
Yeah, he's going to come and sit with you.
I'm like big bunda.
Oh, no, this is going to be called a love seat. You know how you get those in DFS? A love seat.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like a 1.5 seat.
How are you getting on there, sir? All right?
This is right.
Do you want to perch on the end, you?
Yeah, I'm perching.
Okay.
How's that?
Well, this is cute.
It's like Love is Blind.
Should we move your water bottle too?
Is my water bottle all right?
Hey, your water bottle is kind of wicked themed.
Yeah.
You know,
Is it not fine?
You know how passionately you talk about Wicked. You know, when you told me that you liked paddle, that's how I felt about it. For context, so when you're like, oh, I actually really enjoyed that thing that you love so much, like it's the same.
Yeah, I did enjoy paddle.
It's because greatest.
What's paddle?
It's a racket sport, DB. That is like hybrid tennis squash. And it's really, really, really fun. And it's really easy to pick up. That's why it's so good.
It's a sport, right?
It's a sport.
I only know Quidditch.
Oh, did you want us to sing? All right.
No. I'm bi.
Something has changed. I'm joking. We're going to talk about something today that...
Yes, there is a reason why DB is here. Because we want his insights on a big topic. I totally just cut you up.
No, that's all right.
Continue.
No, I didn't even feel like you did.
Oh, sorry.
Go on, lady.
Now we've all lost it both now.
No, we're going to talk about... I think this festive period really brings up a lot of emotions for like everyone.
Yeah.
And we wanted to cover loneliness at Christmas and also just like the pressures that it comes with. If you're clocking off now because you're like, oh, it's going to be too deep, obviously we're going to lull throughout as well. But we do think
we trauma deflect.
Trauma deflect. But we do want to touch on it because it's important, isn't it?
Well, look, there's loads of good stuff around this time of year. Like there's loads of like
roast potatoes.
Fucking hell. I made such a good roast at the weekend and the roast potatoes were chef's kiss.
They looked a little bit underdone, but everything else did.
Wow.
I actually agree. I wanted them to have 10 more minutes, but the boys were literally like clawing at the table to eat. And I was like, do you know what? Let's just sacrifice those tasks.
We love a self-aware chef.
Yeah, my chicken was juicy.
Yeah, the chicken looked good. Looked like it shredded real good.
It was really good. So yeah, there's like so much gorgeousness around this time of year, like people getting together, food, like the London is like dressed to the nines, there's lights everywhere, Christmas trees everywhere. But there's also part of this time of the year that can feel very isolating, it can feel very lonely, it can be really confronting. You can have a good time but also make you think about other things. Like it's not clear cut, and I think that comes from the older you get and realizing that this is tied into like so much emotion, because when you're younger you're just like, give me the gifts, you only care about the presents and like eating chocolate for breakfast, and it's all just like it really is make believe. And then when
there's magic at Christmas when you're a kid,
and
then when you get older it's like, oh, 10 grand on everyone's Christmas presents that no one likes.
You just realize it's just a big like consumer game, isn't it?
Yeah, that's like the whole of adulthood though. It's fun when you're a child and then you grow up.
Yeah, I would love a refund.
Yeah, me too.
Or like at least a sabbatical from adulthood. I'm just really over it.
I still think there's a lot of magic to be had around Christmas. We
Yeah,
just
you've
forget
quite
where
good.
it is.
That's nice.
Tell us where it is, Stevie.
No, we do. Like, it's all about the money. Like you said, it's all about the presents when you're a kid. It's all about the money, and then you grow up, and inevitably stuff happens as you grow up, and then you're like, oh, Christmas is rubbish. Christmas is lonely. Christmas is horrible. That's because we forget what Christmas is.
Yeah.
But it's still very difficult to find it because they're ramming the presents and the money side of things down
Yeah,
our
well,
throats.
it's the perfect Christmas. That's what it all boils down to. You see it on TV, you see it in films, like, you know, the family all dressed in like matching tartan pajamas and
Vom.
a table full of like delicious food, like abundant everything. Everyone rosy cheeked and happy and smiling and love each other, and they don't see when like me and Baz have a bust
the
up.
perfect Christmas?
But that's what we're sold, right?
Yeah.
That's what everyone's striving for at Christmas. Like a family to feel like a family unit, everyone to be together, everyone to think that like you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. No, you are. No, you are. No, you are. And I'm going to show you that with £10,000 worth of gifts.
I'd love that. Sorry.
I actually think you'd rather just a check.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I think I do think that we need to strip it back. Like, if you wouldn't spend every weekend with your family, why do you then need to spend Christmas Day with your family? Like, just do what works for you, and it doesn't have to look like someone else's. Don't compare it.
Yeah,
Innit?
the comparison is strong at Christmas.
Massively.
But I think the loneliness that's only something I've really experienced in the last like couple of years, where I'm like, fuck, going back to Leicester again because I don't have another like house to go to for Christmas.
Yeah.
And sometimes like, you know, my sister's now married and I'm thrilled for her. Like, Jevon's lovely, we love him, they're great together, but she's like, oh, we're going to
Jevon's parents
for this, and I'm like, so you're not going to be with me?
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm like desperate for us to spend like every minute of every day together, but you get used to the traditions, and then you're like, oh, their lives are moving on, but like my Christmas still kind of looks the same as it always has done. So I'm like, fuck, I've really messed this up. And now Ashwin's in a new relationship, and he's really happy, and you know, there's part of him that will spend Christmas with like his partner's family, and I'm like, oh my god, is it just going to be me, Baz and Geets? Like, is that feels a bit lonely because like people are moving on with their lives, and I think Christmas
highlights.
It does really highlight that. Whereas like normally, and I think so much of that comes from life is so busy. Normally, like you're running at 100 miles an hour, you got to get shit done, you got to see people who do things. Christmas, you do pause, which like invites that reflection, right?
And your least favorite thing to do.
I always get sick because, you know, I'm just normally like, push through it, push through it.
Yeah, and
then
then
I'm
stop.
like, oh, now I've stopped, and now I'm sick.
But we've got like a bit of a different Christmas this year. Like financially, I'm not buying any presents this year. We've set a limit for each other, and things look massively different. Well, last Christmas was the worst Christmas I've ever had.
That was a rough Christmas, wasn't it?
It was rough for everyone involved. It was also what you were just talking about, like with Annie. It was the first Christmas that I'd not had Christmas dinner with Jason, my brother, my whole life. So every Christmas up until then, we'd spent Christmas Day together. And that's always been something like really important to me at Christmas, is to like be with JJ on Christmas Day. And like you say, you get older and things change. And that's what's weird, right? I've obviously been in a 9-year relationship, but that's been what's important to me.
Yeah.
Whereas you're single and you're thinking like, oh, I wish I was with someone. But I think it's so easy to look at people's situations and think that they have it all, but they don't. Because like there was clearly some sort of difference in how I was feeling lonely in a relationship, if the most important thing to me was like, I need to be with JJ. Like I have to see JJ on Christmas Day. But last Christmas for me was the first Christmas it wasn't my house. That was when I lived with Shelbs for the first year. And obviously she'd unplanned gone back to New Zealand and stayed out there. So I put the Christmas tree up in the house on my own with the boys. I saw Mum and JJ for breakfast. DB had to go back to check on his dog, which was like a 3-hour round trip.
I was still gigging as well.
Still gigging. Still like fresh into sobriety.
Halfway through my rebrand,
yeah. It was rough. Like I actually did a Instagram live last year on Christmas Day because it was the first time that I'd felt loneliness in that way.
Yeah, sure.
But I'd felt loneliness in other ways during Christmas and the pressures and like, but last year was a real turning point for me, I think. I cooked Christmas dinner. I was literally in the kitchen for like 6 hours.
But did anyone eat Christmas dinner with you?
Well, DB came back, but obviously he'd done a 3-hour trip. So then he had a nap because obviously he'd been gigging. Like, so I was cooking for the whole time, those 3 hours he was gone. And then we didn't eat until like maybe 5 hours later. So the whole day, I was majority on my own.
Yeah.
I think I'm muddling the stories of your birthday and Christmas.
That was shite
Also
as well.
That was really bad.
Yeah. For reference, my birthday's on the 1st of January. Thanks, Mum and Dad. We'll forever be grateful for that timing. But yeah, that Christmas day, and we even had a bit of a pressure clash, didn't we? Because I'd sat down to eat this Christmas dinner, and that's the other thing. I'd been in the fucking kitchen for like 6 hours cooking for 2 people. How did I manage to not? Because I'd like put it off, so I didn't prep anything the day before, so I did everything on that day. And again, because this Christmas dinner had to be perfect.
Because this was your first Christmas together.
It was our first Christmas together, but we'd also tried to force 2 magnets, so like the wrong bits of the magnets.
Oh,
because
yeah.
It wasn't really that logistical for us to spend it together because...
You just really wanted to?
There wasn't really much other option, like... I think...
I was still gigging. It was my first Christmas clean and sober.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who I was. So come Christmas Day, I was exhausted, wasn't
Yeah.
I? And obviously I wanted nothing more than to be with you for Christmas. We wanted to be together, but logistically it was just so hard. And all I wanted to do was rest. And obviously...
Switch off.
Yeah, and switch off. But obviously we still wanted to spend Christmas Day together. And it was hard, wasn't it?
And I wanted to Brady Bunch, so by the time we sat down to have Christmas dinner, but I also wasn't enjoying the food that I just cooked for like 6 hours, not because it wasn't a banging roast, but just because of like...
It was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely 10 out of 10. But I think the whole thing just felt like we must force this Christmas, whereas actually what probably would have worked for that year was we just put a pizza in the oven and called it a day. Yeah. And like we wouldn't have had any less of a good time.
Where'd you get these socks from? They beauty pie socks.
I got you some from the thing.
Just this pie keeps winking at me. Yeah. Alex.
This year, it's so stripped back. We've got no plans. I'm doing no presents. But weirdly, we put the tree up the other day. It wasn't like this whole big planned thing. We didn't have Christmas pajamas. And it was good, wasn't it?
Really lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Very relaxed. But we put up the tree. We had some Christmas snacks.
And normally it would be so conducted from me, like, right, I've bought you these pajamas, we need to wear that. Can you come in for this shot?
Yeah.
Like, that, I just doesn't feel like me anymore.
Because it's so prescribed then, isn't it? And that's like, there's no fun in any of that. And like this year, we've got some of my cousins joining us because really devastatingly, like they lost their mum earlier this year. So they're going to be experiencing like a whole different version of loneliness because they've always been used to having another person there and it being centered around them, and now they're with us, and we want to make sure everyone's like, can you even make sure they have a good time, because I don't know if they are going to have a good time. And
that's the pressure of Christmas Day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you must have a good day. Why? Just do nothing if you want to do nothing.
It gets to the same. The only thing that is consistent about a party at Christmas, it gets to the end of the day, and me and Mum look at each other and we go, never again, never again.
And then rinse and repeat the year after.
Well, rinse and repeat the next day.
Yeah.
Then all of like my mum's family come over for Boxing Day, but I like set this standard of like laying the most beautiful table you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And like cooking all of this amazing food and like pouring love into everything. And I get so many presents for everybody. Like I want everyone to have piles of presents.
Yeah.
It doesn't like I'm not bothered about anything because like the biggest privilege of this job is that every day you get a gift.
Yeah.
But it's, like I want to give everybody everything on Christmas Day. And it gets to like 4 p.m. and I've like busted my ass the day before setting up everything, wrapping presents, busted my ass the day off cooking the meal with Mum, busted my ass trying to make sure it's perfect for everybody else. And I'm like, fuck this. You've all just behaved like brats. Baz is going, I don't even know where Baz is. He's like, he's left the building. He's like, all right, thanks so much for my gifts. Bye, I'm done.
Are you doing that the same this year then?
I think we're going to have to like change it a bit. And I've said to Mum, like, we don't need to do like all of this. Like, I don't need to handwrite menus, and I don't need to do like all of this like stuff that is like, what for?
Isn't that so funny that we've kind of come to that conclusion, like, for very different reasons, but at the same time? Like, this is the first year in 10 years I've not cooked Christmas dinner.
Who is cooking?
Mum.
Oh.
Yeah, like
And
mum.
JJ.
Mum's,
And you're happy to hand that over?
Yeah, like mum's, that's the thing as well. Like, I'm just so chill about it. We're going to have a lovely morning. We're going to walk the dogs, have breakfast together, like probably watch a film. And then we're driving to mum's. And mum is obviously absolutely over the moon because she's got her 2 kids going, oh God.
Oh.
She's got, yeah, like both of us at hers. It's hard though as well because like I think about the amount of Christmases that my mum and dad have both had without their kids. Like that's hard too. Like that must have felt lonely. I remember so vividly when we were younger, on one of the Christmas days we were at dad's, mum had she'd done such a good job of convincing us because we were so upset that she was going to be on her own. She was like, kids, I'm fine. I'm building furniture. Like I'm having this, doing that. And I just remember it so vividly, like the feeling of like, oh, why has my mum got to spend Christmas Day on her own? And because she didn't have a partner at that year.
Yeah.
Whereas like if my dad had a partner, I'd feel a little bit more chill about it. But yeah, it's going to be a really, I think, stripped back but special Christmas this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of going back to like what the roots of Christmas should be about, where it's like actually just quality time with people that you love. And
Yeah.
but for some people that is, it's not as easy as that to be said and done, is it? Like, you know, parents that aren't together and they've got kids, like there is going to be a year where they haven't got them, and you know, people that you normally, like I remember one Christmas we had like 14 people around the table.
Fuck
and I was
that.
like, this is my dream.
Fuck that. Clean, fuck that.
It's about your gratitudes, isn't it? And we forget it as grown-ups. Like, some of the best Christmases I ever had as a child were when we were skint and our presents were wrapped in newspaper. Like, it was that bad for a while. Like, Dad worked really hard to get us where we were. But we had some years, like, we made our own wrapping paper one year with white paper, and it's one of the best Christmases we had.
Yeah.
Can everyone now see why this man humbles me?
Necessary, yeah.
You know, it's so easy to, like, we're all there looking at everyone else's Christmas going, why can't my Christmas be like that? And we don't know what's going on behind the scenes to make that Christmas.
Oh yeah, massively. It's so easy to compare, and it's so quick to judge. Like even in, you know, I'm 34, you'd think I would have learned a few lessons along the way. I have not. I do this, I still do the same thing. Like I look at other friends and they're having like this beautiful Christmas with their family or with their loved ones or whatever, and I'm like, oh, look at them all just get along. Like they don't have to deal with any like irritating arguments or like, you know, Bal's not pouring everyone's drinks at Christmas or drinking all my Ruinart like he did last year.
Good champagne, that.
One glass he gave me. And I went, where's the rest of your He goes, drank it. And I was like, sharing is caring, but not on Christmas.
I do really like that champagne, Baz. It's my favourite.
Yeah,
Baz.
swing us a
Hint,
bottle.
hint.
I love that champagne, Baz, because Christmas soon, gifts given.
But yeah, it's easy to compare and easy to forget that it's not about the showiness. And I think the thing is now, like, Instagram creates a whole different beast for Christmas, doesn't it? Because it's like, you know, you not do, like, yes, I set the table because I love when people walk into the dining room and they're like, it's a work of art. But do I also want to put it on Instagram so everyone tells me I'm a table laying genius?
100%. I do that too. It's like my dream.
Do I want people to think I nail a roast potato? 100%.
You
Like,
don't. Could be.
Shots fired.
Okay, can we just acknowledge that was the warm-up of the roast, right?
All right.
Give me a couple more. I've got 2 more in the tank before Christmas Day.
All right, we'll do. So have you ever spent Christmas Day on your own?
Never, no.
You have, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
How many times? A few times.
Yeah, a few too many times, actually.
How was, like, talk us through that. How was that?
One,
Like, was that choice? Or was that circumstance?
Some of it was choice, some of it was circumstances.
Okay.
Arguably some of the loneliest moments ever in the history of life, probably. It's a horrifically lonely thing to do.
Christmas
Because
Day.
you are just constantly reminded that people are with other people. And again, some of it was choice, some of it was not choice. But but also it's such a weird thing. You just kind of get up and you get on with your day.
Yeah.
And it's because that's all you can do. That's all you can do. I mean, I think the Christmas before last was the last one I spent alone. And I was okay because I was at uni at the time and I was doing something called STARS, which is I'm doing teaching English as a second language as part of my degree. And part of that was working with Ukrainian refugees. And so we were working with them around the Christmas month. Some of these people had left their entire families in the Ukraine. And that just held a mirror up to what was going on for me. And it was like, do you know what? It could be so much worse.
Yeah.
Could be so much
But
worse.
that doesn't take away from that being like difficult for you. Like, yeah, that could be worse. It could, everything could always be worse. But like, relatively speaking, you're allowed to also say that's quite shit for you.
It was, but it gave me strength, I think, because ultimately, like, being alone, it might be a horrible feeling, but being alone isn't the worst thing that could happen to me on Christmas Day.
I don't know if I want to ask the question of what is the worst thing that could happen.
Whoa.
I mean, there's just any number of things, isn't there? Like, I mean, obviously, like, to be in the position of those refugees. Last year, I was going to NA, and for those people, Christmas is all about getting through one day to the next.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. Like, alcohol, like the heightening of is heightening a word?
Heightening.
Yeah. Also, I did
think about that.
I did another word.
I said
Societal.
wasn't enough.
Yeah, and it is. I had so many people like, just to let you know, Billie was
Societal's-
wrong.
yeah,
Societal
I
is a
hold my
word.
hands up.
So
I'm judged societally wrong.
Mistress of the spoken word.
Yeah. Only just a few words, not all of them, clearly.
it's so heightened
Yeah.
to drink alcohol and get pissed, and like everything is about alcohol. You even noticed it last year. You're like, it's in every fucking piece of food.
The minute 1st of December
Oh,
hits,
yeah.
it's in all the food. It's on every aisle. Everyone's going
So
out. Everyone's
true.
having a drink. Everyone's doing something else. And it's just so acceptable for the month of December.
Just to be a pissed fart every day.
Yeah.
Pissed fart.
But also, I understand it's for people. People are numbing themselves for what is one of the loneliest months of the year.
Yeah.
There's an element of that for sure.
Yeah.
I think there's an element of like, it's been a long year and you let rip on the last month, and it's like everything's winding down, and you like the workload is less heavy, so you're like, all right, yeah, we'll go to the pub after work, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's also a really bonding period, not necessarily like the drink element of it, but like, you know, for people who work in office jobs and they have their Christmas party, like that might be the first time in months that they've like socially spent time together.
Yeah.
And that's nerve-wracking, so you have a drink.
Mm-hmm.
But it is quite wild how it is the focal point of everything. Well, I don't need port in my cranberry sauce.
I do. I got a lovely one from Aldi the other day, didn't I? Port, cranberry and orange. Absolutely delicious.
Oh, God. Do we have to change every fucking word?
How many people are in this room, and how many people are going to be here to vow that next episode she will
Never.
say delicious?
It will never be delicious, and it will never be stooning.
You did it
said
on holiday
it.
so many times.
As
You know
a
that,
joke.
right?
It's not a
No,
joke.
you didn't. There was nothing
Think of your-
ironic about it. I was there all week.
Get your dirty shoe away from me. I swear to fucking God. No, you're such a bitch. That's been on the Dutty Tube. You did. And delicious is brilliant.
Oh, God, spare me.
That rolled off the tongue. I like it. It's staying.
I think we should just leave vowels as they are.
Okay. But I think in general, what we're trying to do is hold space. Have you seen that? We just want to hold space for
Hold
those
space.
lyrics. Have you not seen that interview?
No.
Oh, I suppose your TikTok isn't absolutely inundated with wicked memes, I suppose.
She wouldn't
this
get it
one?
anyway.
Yeah, hold space.
But
They
I
were
don't
like,
understand, what does that
basically
mean?
an interviewer said,
What has that got to do with the space?
I think in Comfort, Cynthia held Ariana's finger or something like that, was it? But one of the interviewer? Yeah, the interviewer said, oh, we've been hearing that a lot of people have been really holding space for the Defying Gravity lyrics. And then Cynthia answered it, obviously, because she's just the kind girl. She's actually a
My
Capricorn
brain
as
has
well.
switched off when you start talking about women. I don't know what
I could see your eyes glaze over.
Yeah, she proper just fucking tapped out, didn't she?
She did a you.
I really did, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is there any other analogy that we can use that will keep me in the room?
All right, well, anyway, what I was saying is that we are holding space for the people who, like, Christmas is presented as this huge, big, sparkly, wonderful, always happy, always smiling time.
Yeah.
And basically, I suppose we want this episode to be like, well, sometimes it isn't, don't worry about it.
I think that's the thing. You haven't failed if it isn't that. Because for ages I was like, I used to really beat myself up if it wasn't like this perfect Christmas.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, like, yeah, why can't we just have, it always sort of boils down to the same sentence, like, why can't we just have one day where like everybody gets
on.
along?
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
oh my
like,
God, that's such a thing.
it's such a parent line, isn't it? Like, Mum, like, just one day, I beg of you, please, like, just don't fight. And we're like,
Nah.
she started and he started and he did this and she did this. And I'm like, we are all 30 years old. We need to be not doing this. But it, like, you can't help yourself because the pressure is like to be perfect is silly and unattainable. But
I think you can go against that pressure. You can do it. And
yeah,
I think
it's hard
okay
to break the mold though, right?
I would argue that some of those people who are home alone for their little Christmas with their dog or their cat are potentially happier and less stressed than the people who are trying to get that postcard Christmas.
Yeah, that's a good
less
point.
Stressed for sure.
That is a good
and
point.
Happier and probably less lonely as well. I know some people who've got their families around them for Christmas and they have these busier Christmases, but they are lonelier and unhappier than the person sitting at home alone.
That's the thing about loneliness, right? People think that loneliness equals being on your own. It's not.
Not at all.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this.
Yeah, we've spoken about it in like. Oh, sorry, it's just like hard because I'm talking about my ex again, but
Again.
it's okay because he's also called David.
but like I have spoken about it. There have been times when I've been in a relationship where I've said to you, haven't I? Because obviously you don't want to be single, you want to be in a relationship, but it's not as clear cut as being in a relationship means you aren't lonely. Like, or you know, being in a friendship doesn't mean you're not lonely.
100%.
Like you can be so rich in all of these areas of your life, but like presentation rich, not like soulfully rich.
Well, sometimes it also just creeps up on you when you don't expect it to. Like, I think that's what I've experienced with loneliness this year.
Yeah.
For like all of my life, I've been surrounded by people. I feel so like very, very grateful that I've got like loads of amazing friendships, and I am most of the time like kind of talking to people around them. But this is also the year I felt probably the loneliest I've ever felt in my life.
Do you know why I think that is? Because you've done a bit of soul searching this year.
Doing the growth.
Yeah. Doing the work.
Do you have any strategies or
No
to cope with that loneliness?
No, don't be silly.
Tequila.
Yeah, sport. Yeah. Glaze.
All right, go on this. Look, you got the time. You got 3 minutes to talk about paddle.
No, I don't. I really don't have any like. I think I think the first couple of times I was really confused as to what the feeling was. I didn't like recognize it as loneliness because that was really new to me. I was like, oh, is this what this is? And then I had a panic attack, and then I called Sasha, and she was like, yeah, you just have to sit in there. I was like, so funny, I don't want to. Right.
That is why you have done something this year, though. You have faced it, like you've admitted it, you've said it out loud. And that's mega.
But it's really, it feels that, or even just saying it out loud feels confronting that like, oh, I could feel lonely at Christmas, or there are parts of my life where I'm like, I don't really like how I'm feeling about this because I don't feel like I'm myself. And the not feeling myself is the loneliness bit because I'm not used to it. I'm not saying that anybody should be, but this is like new feelings for me to understand what they are and how I interact with them. But at Christmas, like there's this tiny piece of like anxiety to me about it now where I'm like, am I going to feel lonely? Even when I am back with my family and like, there's not a minute of peace in that house. Like, you know, everyone's loud and got opinions and argumentative. The doorbell's ringing every 10 fucking minutes because my family live on a main road and everyone's like, oh, your parties are in yet. We'll just swing by and say hi. Don't, if you're listening to this, don't swing by. I want to watch Pride and Prejudice in peace.
Hey, what about if we come up to Leicester?
Yeah, obviously, that's great.
I won't ring the doorbell.
I've watched all 6 episodes of Pride and Prejudice by then.
I just walk in.
She's got a key.
Why don't we do something on Christmas Day? Like, we could FaceTime.
Yeah.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Me, you, and the dogs, and BB, and DB, and...
Yeah, I think we've got a full house.
Fuck that. I'd rather you did it before everyone got there, because I don't...
That'd be fun, that would.
No. What day's the curry coming? 'Cause maybe
The
I'll...
26th. Curry day.
26. That's our Boxing Day.
But it's not like Bridget Jones' turkey curry. Never.
It's like...
Geeta does a spread.
We're visiting for that.
If you can increase your spice tolerance, I'm not having you pussy crying about
Stop
that.
crying.
About between now and then, just get a little bit of chili.
I can make a writer.
Thank you.
Mum,
See, that's nice.
Mum will do something else.
That's
Darling,
horrible.
shall I have a glass of milk.
Can you do a Grinch impression?
Which one?
Yes.
Ooh, yes. That's it. I'm not going.
And do the other one.
Which one?
Max.
Max, fetch my coat.
That's very good. I've actually only seen The Grinch once. Didn't love it.
What?
What?
How are you
Fuck's
two
sake.
friends?
Dunno.
I don't know. The added pressure of Christmas is that like every minute of the day has to be fun and filled
Yeah.
with stuff.
Yeah.
So like whenever there's like a down moment where like you obviously stuffed to the brim and no one can even speak. I'm like, right, so let's do a Christmas quiz.
Let's pull a board game out that we haven't pulled out since last year.
Yeah, blow that dust off and play Scrabble. Actually, our Scrabble board's always pretty much out. Me and that's the game. But
Societally.
Societally, Scrabble slaps. But it's
If you can spell.
I'm actually so good on triple word score.
Yeah. All rounder.
Billie's the
everything except for being lonely. Every part of the day has got to be filled with like the most amount of fun you've ever had in the whole world in one 24 hours.
Yeah. Let's do a deep dive. Tell me about the loneliest time you've been at Christmas. I've just told you mine.
Well, it sort of manifested into a really silly story.
Oh, I love that.
So like last year I think it was the first year Annie was like maybe going to be away from the house for Christmas properly. The funny story is that actually her in-laws are like, they don't live in Leicester, but they have Christmas in Leicester. So they're literally away for like 3 hours. And I was like, fuck's sake. Like, and don't get me wrong, I love Annie with my whole heart, but she doesn't make my Christmas day. But it was the fact the unit was going to be broken. And so I was like, that's it. Like, I'm all on my own now. Like
For 3 hours.
I'm like, Christmas is never going to look the same. I'm so down in the dumps about being a single gal. And we have this like Christmas tradition it's like a couple of days before. We used to do Christmas drinks on Christmas Eve at the pub, and it'd be like everybody from school like piles back into the pub.
Oh, yeah. I
And
remember you used to.
we all get really drunk and, you know, like catch up because you've not seen each other for a whole year. But it used to get so out of hand, like everyone would finish at like 5 a.m. that we'd be ruined for Christmas Day. So we now have it a couple of days before to like, as the older we get, to build in the recovery time. So I can't even remember what I'd watched, maybe The Holiday or something. I was really feeling main character energy as I walked into the pub, stretch. And I was white girl wasted. No offense to the white girls who listen to this. But anyway, there's this guy from home who I categorically like do not love. Like I don't love him. I did a really long time ago. But anyway, we get along really well. And we were sat having a drink. And I just turned to him and was like, should we just have sex then? I was like, what? And I was like, come on then, just kiss me. He was like, are you off your head? I was like, evidently, yes, I am. And I had this I'd created this big storm in my head, like, oh, actually, I'm not going to be lonely because I'm going to go home. The city girl goes to the hometown.
Your level of
Romanticized it.
Yeah.
Like beyond. He was like, you're being a menace, stop it. And I was like, you're ruining my life. And then anyway, it got worse and worse. And we left the pub and went to this other bar, and he was like, do we need to talk about that? And I was like, I actually don't think we can be friends anymore. He was just like, this has gone from 0 to 100. I was like, no,
guy.
We can't be friends anymore. Like, I obviously have feelings for you. 0. I have zero feelings for him. He's like, I obviously have feelings for you, and I actually know it's too difficult for me to like entertain this friendship anymore. We aren't even really friends. And the tumbleweed from feeling a bit lonely to fucking entirely with my life went so fast, and it ended with me leaving this bar at like 3 a.m, walking straight out of the door and straight into a black cab, shut the door, pure main character. And he was like, where are you going? I was like, home.
You just conducted your own rom-com because you were that depressed.
What is the address? What's the address? Anyway, I text my friend the next day, and I was like, I was like, I can't remember. Obviously I could. I can't remember anything that I said or did or like insinuated last night. No reply. I was like, finally got a text back at like 8 p.m. He's like, oh, sorry, I like was out till 5. I'm dead, like barely alive now. He's like, I literally don't even remember seeing you in the pub. Like, can't remember a single thing. I was like, oh, thank God, I can live in peace this Christmas. Nope. We went out a few days after Christmas, bumped into each other again. Stood in the smoking area of this grotty club that we used to go to all the time when we were younger. When I did Fancy Him, which was literally 9 years ago. And he deadpans me in the eyes. And he went, by the way, I remember everything. I wanted to throw up then and there. I literally had to cover his mouth with my hand and be like, no. But I'd done a workout the day before. I was really trying to be a gym bro, where I'd like used Ashwin's weights to deadlift, which are way too heavy for me. And my back had kind of spasmed the whole day, but I was like, push through. As I like jerked to tell him to stop talking about the horrendous things that I'd said to him, I threw my back out. So I then crumpled to the floor in the middle of like a mosh smoking area. And he was like, oh my God, what's going on? It's like, I actually can't get up. I can't get up. And this might be the worst moment of my entire life. So after him telling me that he remembered everything of me just being like, oh, fuck it, let's just hook up. I'm then outside Subway waiting for a taxi home while he's rubbing my back. And he's like, do you want anything from Subway? It's like, oh, I just really want to go.
Well, being lonely kind of slaps when that's your comparison.
Yeah, you can pull a little story out of loneliness, but I don't recommend trying to combat your loneliness with main character energy. And thinking that you're in your own Christmas rom-com.
If you were to write a rom-com about your life at Christmas, you have already done it. Like you wrote it yourself that night.
Probably when I probably wrote that one about 8.
Yeah. I reckon you got in that taxi and you're like, when I get home, I'm going to write a love letter to you.
When I get home, he's going to call me and be like, I fucked up, I'm on my way.
Yeah. Running through the snow with a gift from Harrods.
Cartier.
Yeah. Ay, papi.
I don't think that guy ever gave me a birthday card, let alone a gift.
Snake.
Praying he's not listening.
Christmas snake. I hope he is. That'd be so funny.
Who's going to play you in your rom-com?
Oh, somebody so stunning. Don't know who that is, though. I don't know who would play me. Don't know, because there's
oh my God, do you know who I know?
Brown main characters.
No, I know who it would be. I told you used to look like her back in the day.
Oh, that girl from Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl, yeah. I feel like my obvious would be Emilia Clarke, innit? Emilia Clarke or Julia Roberts.
Yeah, Julia Roberts would be great.
What are you laughing at? What's so funny about that? Something fucking funny, Alex.
Do you not see that for our features, Alex?
Yeah, big fat giggle from the corner there. Read it up because I've literally thought about it. That's right.
Who are the like Indian main character girls? Very few.
Prikya.
Well, she's about to get cancelled.
Yeah. Literally, as I
Priyanka Chopra.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but she doesn't look anything like me.
No. She's quite cool as well.
Simone Biles.
Yeah, Simone Biles.
That's definitely not her.
No.
Simone Ashley.
Simone Ashley, yeah.
I've even interviewed her and I've forgotten her name. If this Christmas I decide against main character energy to combat loneliness, what are your tips?
And without, this is going to sound horrible, but I don't mean it horrible. Try as much as possible to make sure that this Christmas is not about you.
Way, that's difficult, yeah.
And that way you won't feel as lonely as you do.
What a guy.
That's a good tip. You're right, though, because it's always like, well, it's my Christmas too, you know?
The more selfless you are, though, the better Christmas you'll have. It'll remind you of your gratitudes, it'll remind you of everyone else, and it'll shift the focus off yourself. So even if you are feeling lonely, you're not focusing on that, you're focusing on other people.
Wow,
well, can you see why I get therapized every day?
Yeah.
It's good, bro.
You're really smart, aren't you? What's the best Christmas you ever had?
Best Christmas I ever had.
One with me. Was it the one with me?
The best Christmas I'm about to have.
Don't think it was.
The best Christmas I ever had was my turn to talk about my ex now.
Hey, is she also called Sasha?
Was when a long-term relationship broke up and my friend from London came down and my other mate from Cornwall came up and we had a lads' Christmas and it was just the best Christmas ever.
Love that. Who cooked?
We all did. We all cooked in the morning and we all cooked roast dinner in the evening together.
That's so cute. What did you have for breakfast?
We had a massive, huge fry-up for breakfast. We all wore onesies all day. Ooh. And I built a Millennium Falcon Lego model. It was such a good day.
My vagina just recoiled, but I do love that for you. No, that's
You're
cute.
a nasty girl.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
How is it sat on the pod chair?
A little bit nerve-wracking. look, I'm just trying not to talk over people. I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to be considerate because it's not my podcast.
You've been very mindful,
yeah.
very demure.
Very
demure.
demure. Very mindful.
What is it like seeing Sasha Pants in action?
I'm so proud of her. Every day.
Aw.
That's so cute.
No, because I'll start crying. Stop it.
Well, yeah, I love it
Yeah.
when he cries about how much he loves me.
No.
My
Wow,
favourite time.
loneliness What a great episode. Love you guys. Bye.
No, I'm proud of you too.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, don't give me the pity pride now.
No, he does. He
No.
does talk about you a lot.
Say it all the time. Said how beautiful you look last night.
Oh.
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah. And I didn't say you look like a stick of butter either. I said you look like a Greek goddess.
You did.
Mm.
It was very kind.
Mm.
Do you feel like it's exactly how it is when you hear it back though? Because that's the feedback I love the most, when people are like, oh, when we meet you, you're exactly like you are on the podcast.
Yeah.
This is just you two in the living room. This is you whenever you come to visit. I get this
FaceTime.
all the time.
Constant.
So constant.
Yeah. Imagine if we still had like, you know, when you used to get your phone bill when you were younger and your parents would be like, who is this person that you're spending 18 hours a day on the phone to?
Yeah.
That's us.
Literally. Yeah, because you're obviously like, you're video calling all the time. You're planning all this sort of stuff. But it's the same chat. You don't dial it up for the podcast.
No. If anything, we have to try and dial it down a tiny bit.
We've got to strip it back.
Oh, it's been so lush having you on the pod.
It's been a treat. Thank you very much for inviting me.
You're
We
most
loved your
welcome. You can come
insights.
again if you like.
Can I?
Yeah.
It wasn't even you that invited me, so shut up.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Big boss Becky did. She calls the shots.
We should maybe do like a men's mental health podcast or something.
Whoa.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
This one's an unqualified therapist. Trust.
Well,
I've got a lot of questions.
you'll get your turn. You said this.
Got a lot of topics to discuss.
He's waiting to claw in, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The walls are going.
At some point, I'm gonna get you.
We've got some juicy cues.
Yeah, they're on the thing.
Can we do DB does a Shag, Marry, Kill with like maybe wiki characters?
Yeah! And I'll fucking kill you if you say it. We actually did this the other day, didn't we?
Oh my god, guys. Get a fucking grip. The world beyond Wicked still spins.
It doesn't. Ask everyone in the room, because everyone in the room's seen
What's
it.
the world? Oz.
Yeah,
Oz.
shiz. We're going to ask you, shag, marry, bin, and think about your answers
This feels like a
carefully.
trap.
Of... Well, you haven't seen Wicked, so I'll just...
I know who the actors are, just maybe not Elzabar's names or whatever.
For the millionth fucking
Alpha.
time. It's Elphaba.
Alphabet.
Okay, Elphaba, played by Cynthia Erivo. Ariana Grande, playing Glinda.
Mhm.
Jonathan Bailey, playing Fiero.
Okay. I think I'll go for marry first. I'd marry Jonathan Bailey.
This is interesting.
No, wait. Because we'd get married, we'd do the domestic bit, and then we'd go off and do whatever we wanted in our own time, see?
Would ya?
Yeah.
See?
I reckon he'd be fun to live with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's such a beautiful boy, isn't he?
Stunning.
And the thing is, I could... behave now. I could marry him, and then I'd shag Ariana Grande on the side,
Right.
which he'd be okay with, because
Sneaky
he'd be off
link.
doing his own thing. And then,
And she's petite, just like you like him,
So you're
innit?
binning Cynthia.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really nasty.
Well, there was no way I could win
You
this.
set
was
him
there?
up for a failure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
What's wrong with Cynthia?
There's nothing wrong with Cynthia.
She's a Capricorn as well,
Yeah.
like me.
I just don't think I'd want to marry Cynthia.
Why would you not want to shag her?
So I had to choose one.
All right, whatever.
Sorry, Cynthia.
I mean, I would do a gladiator themed Shag Marry Bin, but you wouldn't get it.
I know who Paul Mescal is. He plays the
All right,
gladiator.
let's do that. Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal, and we'll do OG Russell Crowe, but Russell Crowe specifically in Gladiator.
Oh no, not in Les Mis. Fuck me.
No,
Definitely put him in the bin
in
then.
Gladiator.
All right, I've not.
Ever seen that?
Yeah, a long
seen the
time
first
ago.
Yeah,
Who's the middle one? Pedro Pascal.
yeah.
Who's that then? Sounds
He's-
good.
He's the Emperor
No, he's
in
not.
the new one.
No, he's not.
Is he not? I haven't
No.
seen it.
He's
What is he? Is he the? Oh, is Denzel Washington the Emperor? Who's the Emperor?
Oh, put him in the mix.
Hey, Pedro Pascal is pure.
I
Papi.
Babi.
Fucking hell! All right, let's go.
Go on.
Pedro Pascal, shag. Denzel Washington, marry, so I could have his babies.
You're billing Paul.
Mescal.
Well, you claimed it now. My turn.
Yeah, no, I'd been Paul over him any
Yeah.
day.
Oh, I'd marry Paul. Would I marry Paul? Maybe I'd marry Pedro.
This is not real life, by the way.
No, it is.
It is.
If you're listening, Pedro, it's on. I'd marry Pedro, shag Paul, bin Denzel.
Can you only
Denzel's
shag
kinda
them
like
once?
like an uncle.
Can you only shag them once? I'm changing it. I want to. I want to marry
Someone
Pedro.
is thirsty for Pedro.
High five.
Let me just talk about how much I want to shag another man. High five.
Yeah, and then whatever answer he would have given would have been wrong.
Yeah.
You
Well,
want to shag
why
him?
do you want to do this?
Why didn't you just say me, even though I wasn't even the mix?
Those double standards.
Hi.
What a fun app this has been.
Yeah, great.
Okay, love you all. Bye.
Love you, bye.
Say it.
I love you. Bye.